Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Launch and Learn on your 2025 Credit Union Journey with Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions. I'm Greg Newman, Director of Communications for the World Council. Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions is our strategic partner, contributing to our shared mission of advancing financial inclusion through cooperative finance. And today you'll be hearing from Mike Reiter, President of the Foundation, and Alyssa Stetsishin, Foundation's marketing, communications, and grant management consultant, about the journey they have planned for you in 2025. We'll first welcome Mike in. And Mike, thanks for being here. We're happy to host this. And can you give us first just an overview of what the Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions does and what its programs and initiatives are?
Absolutely. Thanks, Greg. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Glad to see everyone here. And thanks for taking the time to connect with us on our Lunch and Learn for 2025. Well, the Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions was founded in 1975 to continue to strategically partner with World Council to grow and expand our credit union movement around the world to ultimately advance financial inclusion to so many underserved communities and thousands and millions of people around the world. So that's really our core mandate as we partner continually with the World Council. And within the Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions, there's an umbrella of really exciting initiatives, networks, engagement activities, ways for all layers of the credit union system, whether you're an individual, a credit union financial institution, a QSO, a league, or an association. There is a place for you and a value proposition for you to engage globally with the Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions. And 2025 is really an exciting year for us. We've taken a thematic approach. We did this the last 3 years with our Bridge the Gap campaign. And so now we look to 2025 and really want to invite each and every one of you and our movement across the world to discover what the global credit union community has to offer each and every one of our stakeholders. And so really, I think what the foundation's goals are just continued engagement in partnership with the World Council. And we continue to work with our team and our board of directors to continue to advance some specific global issues that we partner with the World Council to continue to mitigate and solve for. So a lot of our specific initiatives and programs continue to help support the mitigation of providing financial inclusion to members and underserved communities around the world. We partner with the World Council to combat climate change and other key crises through our Project Stormbreak disaster relief initiative. Our Global Women's Leadership Network, Women's Empowerment and Leadership Network, continues to bridge the leadership gap and gender gap for credit union women everywhere. And our YCUP program, which is our Emerging Leader Global Network, continues to engage the next generation of credit union leaders who are ready to engage out into their communities, to continue to connect with their fellow emerging leader peers around the world, to better understand how credit unions can truly leverage this emerging leader talent to position credit unions for the next generation of leadership as the world continues to change quickly around the credit union industry. And in addition to that, we have a plethora of a certification program as well as engagement experiences and activities that can really provide a value proposition to credit unions and other institutions and individuals around talent development, talent retention, and continued engagement with the credit union ethos of people helping people. From a network perspective, we continue to partner with the World Council to engage the entire global credit union system. Historically, we've engaged the US system in a lot of different activities, but we really like to see ourselves as a global bridge that connects the US system with the international system for greater networking, greater education, greater understanding of what the global movement is, its size and scope. And you can see here from the statistics of the World Council's recent statistical report, just how broad and deep and vast the movement is. And so the foundation invites everyone to connect globally. And we partner continually with the World Council to continue to unite that global movement together. Cooperation amongst cooperatives is one of the key financial or credit union principles, and as well as concern for community. And so I think both of those credit union principles really align themselves well to the value proposition and our purpose at the foundation, because we truly believe that credit unions and financial cooperatives are driven by this social mission and their principles to create a better life for people from all walks of life in all corners of the globe. And so really tangibly, what does that mean? What are our programs and services? I touched on them a little bit. I think at our core and our bedrock, our partnership with the World Council is essential as we continue to work together to advance financial inclusion around the world. World Council has a dynamic trade association offering international advocacy services. There's the world-renowned and known World Credit Union Conference. There's a plethora of virtual activities. And the foundation clearly integrates into a lot of those. But I think the one area where we really provide a tangible impact is we support the World Council's Global Programs Division, which helps to start up and sustain credit union development projects and technical support projects in various areas of the world where there are credit union systems integrated. And so things like providing loans to agricultural producers, helping credit unions to create unique financial products for female entrepreneurs and women-led households. These are all the things that are at the heart of the joint mission of the World Council and the Worldwide Foundation. So we help to fundraise to support those key credit union development projects. The Global Women's Leadership Network, which just celebrated 15 years last year, continues to grow in size and scale, starting with a really dynamic and passionate membership community. Anyone can become a member of Global Women's, and we do have over 2,000 members scattered throughout the world, and many of them are members of sister societies, these localized groups of women and men that are continuing to have conversations, to educate, and to go out into the communities and be a catalyst of change for advancing women's issues, women in leadership, and continuing to bridge the gender gap for credit union women and female members everywhere. One of the newest initiatives is our Global DE program, which many of you on the call and the webinar may be very familiar with the Credit Union Development Educators program. It really is an intensive program that continues to deepen someone's understanding of the cooperative principles and what the credit union industry is all about, how it's structured, and of course, providing case studies and examples of all the unique work that credit unions are doing around the world. And so once they graduate from that program, there's an opportunity for them to take a next step and become a global DE, which is to broaden their horizons and education around what the global credit union community is doing, and to ultimately adopt a DE project of their own to go out and to provide impact in a particular part of the world. And so we facilitate that whole journey. We provide the certification that is the ICUDE, which is the International Credit Union Development Educators certification. And we celebrate the Global DE and the ICUDE alumni and community at the World Credit Union Conference each and every year. Project Stormbreak, which again, I mentioned a little bit earlier, is our international credit union disaster relief initiative that continues to be a financial first responder to support credit union systems that are under siege, either by natural disasters or geopolitical crises. And so there's been a tremendous amount of work that the foundation has done in collaboration with with the World Council's network, as well as individual partners, to be those financial first responders in a time of crisis. YCUP, like I said earlier, continues to engage our emerging leader global community through a variety of in-person and virtual engagement activities, connections, networking opportunities, and a dynamic scholarship program. And then Global Bridges, which is a really innovative and unique collaboration with the World Council. There are so many interested groups that want to connect and learn both virtually and in person with one another, credit union to credit union, association to association, individual to individual. And so Global Bridges, with it being its name, really creates a customized opportunity for credit unions and stakeholders to come together in a very intentionally created learning and development opportunity where they share ideas, they network, they learn about each other's credit unions, irrespective of where they're located. And the Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions, in partnership with the World Council, helps to facilitate and coordinate and capture the learnings of those learnings throughout the week of that Global Bridges journey. So as you can see, there's just a wide variety of menu of opportunity to go on a journey with us at the Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions. And again, we continue to advance financial inclusion with the World Council. We are active strategic partners of the World Council to continue to help build the capacity of credit unions around the world. So many stories that I have the pleasure to share as I go out on the road and engage in the US and globally, really talk about how credit unions are sometimes reaching members at the last mile. They are reaching the last households and the last individuals who wake up every single day without clear access to financial inclusion. And there's such a glaring need, as you saw in one of the statistics in the first slide, of nearly 1.3, 1.4 billion people are still wake up without clear access to financial inclusion. And so the council in partnership with us at the foundation really do serve as that bridge that connects credit union systems around the world, as well as to provide financial inclusion through specific education and technical programs.
Mike, can you talk a little bit about what some of the foundation's goals are for 2025?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were created initially as, or we are obviously a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization here in the United States, in the state of Wisconsin specifically. And I think at the most basic of levels, our job is to continue to intake financial contributions, philanthropic financial contributions from different partners from around the US and international credit union systems. And since 2018, we've seen a fairly robust growth of our charitable contributions, nearly 100, on average, 113% growth in the last 7 years. So our annual fundraising target for the foundation to support all the things that I mentioned, the programs that I mentioned, and to do the work of advancing financial inclusion worldwide in partnership with the World Council is about $3 million. So that's not visualized here on the screen, but that's one of the key metrics, growth metrics of our foundation and our foundation team and our board. You can see here on the screen, there's a variety of impact that we hope to achieve through our specific programs. We want to continue to be providing robust education content through Global Women's and through YCUP by reaching a certain number of individuals through the Global Women's Network and the YCUP program. We have a robust scholarship program that cuts across Global Women's and YCUP. This year, we hope to provide 7 scholarships through the YCUP program to emerging leaders around the world. One of them from Australia will be joining us at the GAC in Washington, D.C. in a little over a month in late February and early March. And we have 5 scholarships for Global Women's Leadership Network that we want to provide as well, that really continues to engage female leaders around the world and gives them an immersive experience with the global credit union community. We want to continue to grow the Global Women's Sister Society networks, not just in the United States, but internationally as well. We have a target to grow 5 of those, and there's a specific process and a workflow that our GWN team takes in building out those sister societies. Each one has a unique characteristic and a personality, which we love. But at the heart, their mission is to continue to help bridge the gender gap for credit union women around the world. We want to continue to grow our ICU DEs through the Global DE Network, as I stated a little bit earlier. So we have a goal of trying to reach 5, but hopefully that's a little bit low-hanging fruit. We want to try to reach more than that. And we'll be announcing those individuals at the World Credit Union Conference in July in Stockholm, as well as we want to reach at minimum 1,000 people through disaster relief. We don't know when the next disaster is going to strike one of our international credit union partners around the world, but we are ready with Project Stormbreak to be that financial first responder to reach at minimum 1,000 people with disaster relief grant assistance in the form of loan assistance or other types of grant programs that support their local credit unions that are just trying to keep their doors open in the wake of a natural disaster or geopolitical crisis. So
that's interesting.
That would round out our goals for 25, Greg. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, that last thing you mentioned, the disaster relief, that's a really tangible way people can help credit unions worldwide. But I think, there's obviously we've run through a lot of things that are awesome programs, but somebody might say, how does me being involved in that network help credit unions worldwide? What's your answer for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it takes a movement to really be able to realize global impact and global scale on the ground. And so I think even when we've leveraged International Credit Union Day in the past to invite credit union members, credit unions that want to engage their members, credit union staff, credit union board members individual contributions, institutional contributions, those funnel into each one of these programs. And then we work in partnership with the World Council, their member network, their associations that are located in literally almost every corner of the globe, to bring those dollars into local credit unions that ultimately connect down to making a difference in individual members' lives around the world. So that would just be a kind of a one way to be able to connect the dots to an individual that's maybe on the webinar today saying, well, how does this matter to me? How can I make a difference? And this slide here actually visualizes it in a great way. And I've used this analogy quite a bit in my travels in engaging more credit unions to our global mission, which is really what global can do for everyone is really touch the heart and the head of who we are as credit unions, as vendors, as individuals within our movement, irrespective of where we are. Global has a place in giving each and every one of us an opportunity to do their part to help grow the movement around the world. Credit unions, as we know, are created to serve a specific localized community, and we respect that and we understand that. But because we share all the same DNA of being financial institutions and credit unions specifically, the concept of concern for community and cooperation amongst cooperatives couldn't be more great as we start in 2025. And so really providing people an opportunity to show that they are a part of a global movement, that they care about helping to grow credit unions around the world. I think that's the charitable and the philanthropic side of our work. On the other side, we talk about helping to satisfy the head of our credit union donors and our individuals. And to me, that's about learning and education. That's about understanding different perspectives from their global peers through our engagement programs like Global Bridges, Global Women's Leadership Network, YCUP. There's a plethora of events and activities that are created specifically to do specific things when someone attends those events, whether it's recognition for showcasing the really powerful global community of donors that we have that do use members' money to help us expand the movement around the world. And so many oftentimes credit unions engage with us specifically because they want to engage their boards, they want to engage their emerging leaders, they want to engage their female leaders in our programs because it's a value proposition to them to develop them beyond just the local and national work that credit unions are doing, but the global work. And it's a challenge for us, quite candidly, because we are, sometimes 3 degrees of separation away from the localized mission of each and every credit union. So sometimes it's difficult to make that argument to them to say, this is why this contribution, this is why your engagement of your credit union's time, talent, and treasure is so important. And so you can see here on the slide, just a variety of value propositions and it's not a one size fits all for every credit union. Every credit union doesn't fit within a box. And that's one of the exciting parts of my job is getting to be able to peel the onion back and unearth what potentially the value is for a credit union to why they should engage globally.
Yeah, I was going to ask, there's certainly a lot of opportunities for individuals, but it should be noted it's not limited to individuals, credit union professionals, credit unions themselves, the entities can get involved, right?
For sure. Yeah, and we actually see, if internally, as we kind of plan our engagement strategy annually, we really look at kind of the 2 lenses, the 2 audience segments: institutions, credit unions, credit union foundations, CUSOs, segment associations, like, for example, the African American Credit Union Association would be an example one. Those are all kind of bundled into the institutional kind of audience type. And then you have individuals, you have emerging leaders, you have female leaders, you have obviously all segments of the credit union itself, the board, the C-suite, the middle management, the front line, even the members themselves. There's opportunities for greater awareness and greater engagement as well. And so what Discover Global means, and I know Alyssa's going to touch on this a little bit later, is we're inviting every layer of the credit union movement to come with us on a global journey. What I believe makes the foundation's business model or value proposition unique is that we take an experience-centric approach to partnering with us to do the charitable work and mission that we were created to do, which is to expand and grow credit unions and financial inclusion around the world, to grow the movement. And so what you're seeing here on this slide is the global engagement menu. Joining us as a champion circle donor, becoming one of our global champion donors. We call our donors champions because they are helping us champion the movement and its growth. You can become a sponsor of one of our events. There might be a tremendous value to you to engage with our audiences that are attending our specific events, whether they're at the Government Affairs Conference, whether at the World Credit Union Conference. Become a member of Global Women's Leadership Network. Men and women and people from all walks of life can benefit from engaging with a really dynamic and empowered credit union women's network that focuses on leadership and empowerment. International Credit Union Day, the World Council just received the copyright and the trademark ownership of that industry recognized holiday, the third Thursday in October every year. And so we partner with the World Council to help spread the word about what is happening globally by using that holiday. And we have started to create a day of global giving using International Credit Union Day with the International Credit Union Day pin and so many other types of international educational activities. We have Global Bridges, like I mentioned. We are positioned at the foundation to create a customized Global Bridges tour for your institution, your organization. And the World Council creates pre-created, what we call open study tours for Global Bridges to invite people to buy a seat on those to go out and explore the movement and engage with peers. For institutions that are looking to differentiate themselves in terms of products and services, we have our Global Good Card, which is an opportunity for credit unions to open a new credit card line and product and work with us to leverage our brand and our stories to provide them the opportunity to create a global good card that really evolves the brand of the credit union to invite the members that are buying that card or taking a part in that card program to give a percentage of their interchange back to the important work that we do. And we have multiple credit unions that participate in that card program. We obviously participate and partner closely with the World Council and the World Credit Union Conference team. We have a series of events embedded into that event, and we help support the World Council team in making the World Credit Union Conference the apex global credit union event to be seen and to be attended every single year. And then finally, the event that's coming up the closest to our calendar is our Champion Voices event at the GAC at Union Station in Washington, D.C. in early March. And we really see this webinar, in addition to that event, is really us leaving the station together on this global journey for 2025 with the theme of Discover Global.
That's a great presentation, Mike. And I know a lot of people who are here, some might be new to the Worldwide Foundation of what you do. So it really gives a good 500-foot view of all of the activities and all of the events and all of the great work you do. And you mentioned Discover Global, and that's the new campaign for 2025. We're now joined by Alyssa Stedt-Sisson. She is WFCU's Marketing, Communications, and Grant Management Consultant. Alyssa, thanks for being here. And you're really the one who came up with the idea for this Discover Global campaign. Can you tell me what inspired it and give us an idea of what it all includes?
Of course, Greg, thank you. And hi, everyone. There's always a story. So there is also a story behind this campaign. Mike and I were on the train from Ukraine to Poland last year discussing all the things we discovered during our trip to my home country. And while we were talking, it struck me that in our busy lives, we have to very often focus on, everyday problems and issues, which is natural. But when the opportunities occur and we get a chance to travel to another country or meet with our friends and colleagues from abroad virtually, it brings us pure joy and, a lot of strong impressions. So learning other people's cultures, approaches to work, nuances of solving the same problems we all face, that helps us grow as personalities and I hope as professionals too. So we just sometimes need a little bit of a push to distract from our routine, to get out of our comfort zones. And this is what this campaign is about, going on a year-long journey with many destinations, as you can see on the slide, to explore. And with the goal to become the better versions of ourselves and to help others by doing global good. And so that's a journey. And as I am a planning freak, to be honest, we have prepared the entire agenda for 2025. And as you can see, there are several key touch points for us to engage at. It's the Governmental Affairs Conference, or GAC as we call it, in March in Washington, D.C. It's the World Credit Union Conference, or WCUC, in Stockholm, Sweden, this year in July, and of course the International Credit Union Day in October. But also all year long, we'll have different virtual engagements and learning opportunities provided by the foundation itself, and also its global networks as Global Women's Leadership Network and YCUP program. So now talking a bit about our destinations in details. And the first one is, as Mike mentioned, the Union Station in Washington, D.C., where we will host our rebranded event on the eve of the Governmental Affairs Conference, or GAC. From now on, it will be called Champions Voices, as we want to recognize our champion donors and all the great contributions they make to help us with our mission of advancing financial inclusion. And the location is beautiful. I've been there already. It's one of the US first Great Union Railroad terminals. And it's just a fantastic, historic landmark. So we'll have an elegant reception, and there we will introduce our new Global Good Award. It's the award for the champions who we want to celebrate for their important contributions in the previous year. And we will also present the impact we make with our work and with the help of our champions in the credit union communities worldwide. And we will also partner with the CU Pride initiative to talk about the role CU Pride plays in advancing inclusivity. And finally, you will also find out, you can see the small flower there on the screen, you will find out how a gladiolus flower is connected to all this. We will definitely share that at the event already. The registration is already open. You can check on our doglobalgood.org website. So we start the journey on the train, but we continue by boarding a ship. And that's our next destination. It's not just a ship, but it's a greatly preserved Vasa warship, a relic of maritime history that sank in the 17th century and was salvaged in 1960s. So this is really an iconic venue and one of Scandinavia's most visited museums. And it sets the stage for a remarkable unwind event and night that the Worldwide Foundation prepared during the World Credit Union Conference, as we mentioned, that is going to take place in Stockholm, Sweden this year in July. There will be a guided tour of the Vasa Museum, then followed by a delightful dinner in the main hall right in front of this huge ship. And I've been to Stockholm and I've been to this museum, and I'm sure it's going to be an unforgettable experience for everyone. In terms of the next destination, it's our International Credit Union Day. And this year, in addition to the theme that we will officially announce in spring, and all the opportunities to engage by donating for a new pin that we're going to design and the swag, we started with this last year, and we hope to build on the results that we had achieved in 2024. But we have also created an exclusive program only for the foundation's champion donors. And we will take you around the credit union world in 15 days. This initiative was inspired by the book of Jules Verne. And as I am not only a planning freak, but also a boring person that likes reading a lot, that's the book that inspired me for this particular initiative. So please become our champions and stay tuned for all our ICU Day initiatives that are coming this year. And we're also happy and proud to present our Networks 2025 journey. Our Global Women's Leadership Network will host a lunch at GAC this year, focusing on GWLN membership and sister societies. The registration will open very soon, and you will be able to meet with the sister society leaders and hear about the great work they're doing in their communities. We'll be happy to share with you the links for registration. Don't forget, please, to check your email boxes and follow us on social media, of course. we've introduced the new page on Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, please find us, wfcu.doglobalgood. At WCUC, there will be a GWLN forum with a lot of leadership insights, interactive sessions, scholar recognition. And of course, throughout the year, there will be many, many options to engage with GWLN virtually for different events and learning opportunities. In terms of the scholarships, I should say that both GWLN and YCAP opened the application portal for their 2025 scholarships. It's open till the end of January. So if you're a female leader in the credit union movement or an emerging leader up to 40 years old, please go to our website and see the criteria to become the scholar of both GWLN and YCAP. So talking about the YCAP program, or World Young Credit Union Professionals, this program has also prepared many touch points. And this year, there will be meetings of emerging leaders at both GAC and WCUC, including an in-person summit. Plus, there will be quarterly virtual connection meetings, and the first of them will take place already in February. Again, stay tuned. We will send all the information on how you can join this virtual event and many others of YCAP. And finally, also at WCUC, we will organize an exclusive development educators, or DE, social. This is going to be a lunch to celebrate the International Credit Union Development Educators class of 2025. And if you're still not an ICUDE, this year is a great chance to become one and to join the exclusive lunch at WCUC. The application portal will be opening soon. And again, we will send all the necessary information and the requirements to become an ICUDE. So that's the journey that we planned for 2025. I'm personally very excited, and I hope to meet many of you at various destinations, both in person and virtually.
Thanks so much, Alyssa. I want to bring Mike back on camera too. You know, you said you were a planning freak. I think that's what you and Mike have in common, and why you work so well together. You guys are both very detail oriented. You like big ideas and then seeing those through. And we can see that with the campaign that you both put together and some of the programs. Mike, I've seen on a couple of the slides that you've shown a little champion circle icon. What does it mean to become a WFCU champion? Walk us through that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Champion Circle was a few years back was a bit of a rebranding of what our donation program called the Supporters Program was named for many, many years. And we just felt like really being more intentional about using specific words to invite institutions and individuals to help join us in advancing our mission. And so the Champion Circle is just a renaming of a program that has existed for a long period of time. And we do certainly invite individuals to make individual contributions. We have quite a few individuals that make individual contributions through the Champion Circle. And we are candidly building out a strong value proposition to invite individuals into our work. Specifically, Alyssa mentioned it, the International Credit Union Day pin a year ago was a tremendous success. It was an idea that our team took from idea stage and built it out, and we were unveiling and selling pins at the World Credit Union Conference in Boston last July, and I'm happy to even announce on this webinar we raised over about $170,000 of from International Credit Union Day pins and other types of ICU Day swag. So we plan on doing that again to engage individuals, credit union chapters, and other types of organizations that might hear what I'm about to say about this Champion Circle program and say like, well, maybe $1,000 is too much for me. Well, there's plenty of other philanthropic opportunities to partner with us on to help us grow the movement around the world. But the Champion Circle is very similar to probably other sponsor or donor type engagement models that many of you have seen. It's tiered and leveled, and so we lean into the what I call the precious metals kind of theme of our Champion Circle program. We have giving levels at set amounts, $1,000, $2,500, $5,000, $10,000. And in exchange for that charitable contribution to the foundation, you get a specific set of benefits back. You get a digital stamp that tells you that you are a bronze or granite or silver or gold global champion of WFCU. And we encourage, that's a new thing actually that we've just started to build out. And we encourage organizations and individuals to promote those with pride, that this is your talisman, this is your token that you are working with us to help us grow the movement around the world and solve for a lot of the problems that you saw in the first slide or two here in the webinar today. So bronze, granite, silver, and gold. And again, you get access to a lot of those journey touch points that Alyssa detailed a few moments ago, to engaging with International Credit Union Day, to our Champion Voices event, to our Y Cup and Global Women's Network events. Admittedly, a percentage of these donations help us sustain and grow these networks and programs. And a large part of our contributions go out into the global credit union community in partnership with the World Council, as I articulated earlier. If we can maybe go to the next slide to articulate the other levels as well. Again, this end of the Champion Circle program has historically been geared to institutions and vendors and CUSOs. Obviously, just like a lot of other charitable partners within our movement, both in the US and internationally, the more that we can do with funding, the greater the impact that we can have. And so we really have created kind of a diverse portfolio of different opportunities to engage and to fundraise through. And this Champion Circle program is a very popular way for institutions to get engaged. CEOs and decision makers at organizations like credit unions often give away these benefits to their emerging leaders, to different employee segment groups within their organizations, to their board members. They invite their members to buy International Credit Union Day pins to make their members feel like they're doing their part to help grow the movement, not just improve their community that their credit union exists in. So really we really plan on continuing to build out this Champion Circle program at these levels, but also there's a whole other component of the Champion Circle that has the potential to be built out to more deeply engage individuals as well over the long term.
Mike, we've already got one question. Somebody interested in the Visa Global Good Card. We actually have had a couple people ask about that. And that's, I know, been around for a long time, predates my time here, and I've been here 6 years. Talk a little bit more about that for those folks.
Yeah, so the Global Good Card was the idea of Summit Credit Union in partnership with the World Council and the Worldwide Foundation. Summit Credit Union's members are America's Credit Union's employees and World Council employees. That's kind of how that credit union got started. And their CEO, Kim Spanum, deserves all the credit in coming to our organization and saying, hey, my credit union is about to embark on creating a new credit card line and product. And, wouldn't it be a great idea to brand that new credit card product with the global mandate and mission of the World Council and the Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions? Our current CEO our CEO at the time thought it was a great idea and directed the Worldwide Foundation to create that model in partnership with Summit Credit Union. And it does take a little bit of work for the credit union, admittedly, to integrate a credit card program for anyone on the call that has that level of experience. But the Worldwide Foundation has the kit for you. We can connect you in with Summit Credit Union. They are always happy and willing to share their team's expertise on working through any troubleshooting or any pain points that you might have in integrating the Global Good Card. To date, almost $300,000 has been raised, unrestricted funding from the Global Good Card program. Global Good Card programs start very small, as you might know, because you're adopting a certain number of members initially, and then those members grow as they adopt the Global Good Card. But about 3% of the credit union or credit card transactions kick back to us as interchange from each of those Global Good Card programs. And it's a great sustainable way to support our work, because those are automatic and automated donations that are coming in to the foundation from that particular program. And so our strategy was always to try to scale that and grow that further, not just across the US, but internationally as well, if applicable. So we'd love to entertain, sidebar conversations with anyone on this webinar that would love to learn more about that really dynamic and really unique program.
And if anybody does have questions, please write them in the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and we can answer them there. And Mike, I have to say that, you know, one of the things that you didn't mention, but I know is the case, is that, you know, we talk about the dearth in young membership, young people becoming members of credit unions, but we also hear they want to do good things. They want to be socially active. They want to know that they're helping people. And the Global Good Card is a great way to entice more young members, isn't it? Because that's exactly what you're allowing them to do by getting that card.
Yeah, we know from, you know, universal demographic data that, you know, whether you're an employee within a younger demographic in an organization, or you're a member, you're a customer within that demographic, you want to do business with organizations. You want to be employed with an organization that wants to make the world a better place beyond just the four walls of that organization, or even the boundaries of that local community. And I think that's the value proposition. That's the story. That's the opportunity, the unique opportunity that we have as Worldwide Foundation for Credit Unions and the World Council to go to our stakeholders, no matter where they are, and say, join us in helping us make the world a better place through credit unions. And all the work that everyone has heard today, all the products and services, it may seem very transactional, but the experience-centric nature of it helps to drive the philanthropy, which ultimately helps to fulfill the mission. So there is a means to an end, and why we've been very intentional about Discover Global, about the journey and the different touch points, the events, the champion circle. There's an opportunity for everyone at all levels of the credit union movement and all corners of the credit union movement to participate in small, medium, and large ways, because every bit helps, every bit makes a difference to help us do global good around the world.
One more question on the Global Good Card. Nadian from, I believe she's in Dominica, wants to know, can it be used as a debit card as well, or is it just a credit card?
That's actually a question that we've gotten in past years. It can definitely be used as a debit card. I think we currently haven't had any credit unions approach us to want to make their Global Good Card program a debit card. They have been historically credit cards, but I don't see any reason technically why the framework or the core model of the Global Good Card could be extrapolated into a debit card program. And we'd be happy to connect you with our team, and then ultimately have a conversation with Summit Credit Union to help you ferret out that process to help you get a Global Good Card program started.
Great. And I know that someone in the chat here and had asked about, boy, this is great information. It'd be great to have it. It was Juma in Kenya who said, very insightful presentation, more information on the same, say monthly to educate us. And I know, Alyssa, I want to bring you back in here, because I know that is exactly your plan coming up, to do more education that way.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm glad that my vision is the same as the vision of people who want to get the information from us. So we're going to launch in 2025 our monthly WFCU, or Global Good Digest, and sharing all the exciting things that we do throughout the month, and also what's ahead in the next month. So that's the plan. And it's going to be out every last day of the month. So last day of every month, sorry. So the first one is coming to your email box on January 31st.
That's awesome. We can't wait to get that. Diana, Mike, has a question, just kind of a personal question for you on the, you know, you presented all this great information this morning. What are you, maybe I'll ask both of you, Mike and Alyssa, what are you most looking forward to in 2025 for WFCU, and how, as credit unions or individuals, how can they support that?
Well, that's a really tough, it's a great question. B, it's a tough question to answer, because I have a deep affinity for all the initiatives, the networks, the programs, our partnership with the World Council in advancing financial inclusion. I think from a personal perspective, I think the one opportunity where anyone has an opportunity to engage globally, whether you're an individual, you're a credit union, you're a vendor, is International Credit Union Day. To me, International Credit Union Day is kind of the entry portal to the movement. And it's an opportunity for anyone to engage. Buying a pin, making a donation to get a pin from the Worldwide Foundation is a small way to intentionally do global good in partnership with us, and to make yourself feel that you are playing a role in helping us sustain and grow the credit union movement around the world. Clearly, all of you have heard a plethora of ways of different financial amounts and different ways to engage. But International Credit Union Day to me is the starting point. And then that opens up a door for greater learning, greater education, greater engagement with things like Global Women's and Y Cup, and perhaps going on a Global Bridges study tour and coming to the World Credit Union Conference. There's just so many things that are available. And I think it starts with International Credit Union Day because the entire movement globally focuses their attention on that day.
Alyssa, what about you? What are you most looking forward to this year?
Well, I probably am very happy that we have the conference in Europe this year, because normally I have to travel overseas. And this year it's going to be kind of local for me. And honestly, I think it's a great opportunity to engage more with our European colleagues, because before we had most in North America, the credit unions, the credit union conferences the last 2 years.
Two, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a great way to engage with our European friends and colleagues, and I hope that there will be a lot of them. I also hope that my colleagues from Ukraine are coming again. There's a great credit union movement there too. And hopefully that it's going to be a good opportunity not only to work, to network and to learn new things, but also to travel to a new country and, just enjoy the new views and the new information that we can learn there.
Yeah, I was going to say that even though we do definitely want to encourage as many European credit unions and members and individuals, professionals from those credit unions to come to Stockholm. If you've never been to Stockholm and you're watching this anywhere, I guarantee you it's a city that you will want to see. It's going to be a conference you want to see. I mean, I was going to say, me personally, I'm looking forward to seeing that Vasa warship. That's the thing that you guys have lined up for 2025 that I'm personally most excited about. So that's going to be part of that experience. And WCUC.org, I know Cassie, who works for our meetings and events team, put that in the chat. But WCUC.org is where you can find out more information about conference. And I want to say on a personal note, when I started here almost 6 years ago, Mike was working by himself with one assistant, and you can have all the ideas that you want, you can have all of the vision, but if you don't put the work in, it's not going to get done. And Mike has really put the work in, and I just got to give you a nod there, Mike. You've really grown the foundation, what it does, who it benefits, and I want to thank you for that. And having Alyssa on your team now, I know that work just continues that way. So awesome job to both of you, and we're really looking forward to 2025.
Thanks, Greg. It means a lot to me to hear you say that. And again, I'm blessed to have a great team. It's a collaborative environment. We're joined by our 15-member board, who are made up of credit union leaders, inspiring individuals, and it's really an inspiring group of global champions, to be honest. From someone who gives $5 out of their paycheck every pay period to vendors who are able to give six-figure gifts to the foundation and everything in between. So I think if you really look at those three key components, and of course, and I don't want to miss this opportunity to say, we wouldn't be where we are without our partnership with the World Council. There's no doubt about it. I mean, to be able to partner with the World Council in growing the movement in the ways that we do, and how we've shared that on today's webinar and Launch and Learn, has really been the highlight of my career. So thanks to each of you and to everyone who's perhaps not on the webinar today that are helping us do our collective work to make the world a better place through credit unions to advance financial inclusion. So thanks, Greg.
Thank you. And we hope you got a lot out of this virtual Launch and Learn. And if you did, you want to see it again, or you want to tell others about it, it's going to be available on the World Council of Credit Unions YouTube channel today. You can find that at youtube.com/woku, youtube.com/woku. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.